My name is Jason, and this is Just Watches. Today we have a Nodus Duality 2 that was lent into the channel for review. However, before we get to that review, if you're enjoying the contents of this channel, I invite you to subscribe. And if you like the contents of this individual video, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much. For price and availability, as of the recording of this video, this watch is available in a number of colorways on the Nodus website for $800. The case is 40mm in diameter, 48mm lug to lug. It's really thin at only 11.5, and even then 1mm of that is this boxed sapphire crystal. The lug width is 20mm. Now the top of the mid case has nice circular brushing with high polished chamfers on both the top and bottoms of the mid case. The lugs turn down nicely and are drilled to assist with strap changes. The sides of the case are brushed, and then we have those two crowns at 2 and 4. A high polished bezel sits atop the mid case. Overall, the case is very thin, and that sub 50mm lug to lug and nicely downturned lugs helps ensure it wears excellent on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. The stock bracelet starts at 20mm and tapers down to 16 before jumping back up to 18mm at the clasp. The solid end links have minimal play with the head of the watch and feature quick release spring bars for easy strap changes. Gone is the H-link style of the original, we have a more standard 3-link style, which are mostly brushed, except they do have an excellent high polished chamfer on the outer edge of the outer links. The clasp looks great with Nodus etched into the brushed center section that's flanked with high polished sections. The twin triggers reveal a milt scissor and the Nodus on-the-fly adjustment system. With the push of a button, you can adjust the bracelet by approximately 8.5mm. It's a great system, with the only oddity that in the maximum extension, there is a gap between the last link and the clasp. Now, sizing is accomplished with screw links, and you even get 4 half links, which are really 2/3 links, so you will definitely be able to get a perfect fit with this bracelet. Starting at the edge of the dial, there are dashes for each of the minutes with yellow dots for each of the hours. Moving in, we have applied indices for each of the hours, except for 6, which has a nicely framed date window. The date wheel is color matched to the dial, something Nodus always does right. Now, these indices are applied. Another change from the sandwich style of the first gen. These indices are nicely finished with high polished chamfers, and they catch light nicely on many angles. They are also filled with Lume. The dial itself is a matte blue that nicely matches the bezel. We have Nodus at 12 and Duality and 300 meters at 6, with Duality in yellow matching the only other splash of yellow, which is that yellow triangle on the bezel. Now there's a ton of dimensionality between the sloped inner rotating bezel, the applied indices, and then that dial. The hour and minute hands are brushed along the top with high polished chamfered edges, so they catch light nicely from many different angles. Now both these hands are plenty long, with the minute hand reaching all the way out to the rotating chapter ring. The second hand is high polish as well, with a counterbalance and a Lume section towards the tip. It is also capped, which I absolutely love. It's a very small detail, but on most watches you can see the pivot where the second hand attaches to that. And with this cap, you don't see that. It's just a much cleaner look. I love that Nodus is doing this on their watches. One of the only other brands that does this consistently is the Citizen on their Chronomasters. The inner rotating bezel is available in dive style and a 12-hour configuration. The upper screw-down crown controls this bi-directional bezel. This is obviously the 12-hour version. The bezel does have 60 clicks, however, they're not really that audible, but you will feel them as you turn the bezel in either direction. And then screwing that crown down is super simple, and I have never inadvertently moved the bezel while doing so. The bezel is blue to match the dial and has a yellow triangle at 12 with Arabic numerals for the rest of the hours. This is a very easy way to track a second time zone, and I also love how a 12-hour bezel looks, and it actually does make reading the time easier as well. Now this watch is powered by the Miyota 9015. This is a 28,800 vibration per hour hacking hand-winding movement with a 42-hour power reserve and a stated accuracy of -10 to +30 seconds a day. However, Nodus regulates these to + or -8 seconds a day. It also features a quick set date. Now this watch has been keeping excellent time on my wrist, running about +3 seconds a day over the course of an entire week. This watch has 2 screw-down crowns at 2 and 4. These have very interesting black knurling and are also both signed. The Nodus symbol is on the lower crown and the Duality symbol is on the upper crown. That lower crown is going to control normal timekeeping and the quick set date, and then the upper crown controls the inner rotating bezel. More on that later. The crystal is a boxed dome sapphire. It's about 1 millimeter proud at the bezel and rises seamlessly from the bezel. The crystal has excellent anti-reflective coating and produces distortions when viewing the watch from an angle. Now this crystal is really nice. I love dome crystals, but they often catch way too many reflections. But for whatever reason, the crystal used here and the probably really good anti-reflective coating, it makes it so this crystal is not distracting at all, and it just gives a ton of personality to the watch. The lume here is Swiss Superluminova BGW9 Grade A. The bezel is fully lumed, and most of the lume has a blue glow, save for the triangle at 12 on the bezel. The lume is bright, responsive, and long-lasting, and I love that they went ahead and loomed the bezel here. So here is the watch on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. This is a great size. The 48mm lug to lug doesn't overhang, and they made this version really thin. And the slight curve down of the lugs, plus the negative end link bracelet, makes this watch really hug the wrist. So pros and cons, starting with the pros. First, this watch has every specification you could ever want, and one that's becoming very important to me now is quick release bracelets. I love having a watch on a bracelet, but unless it has a quick release system, I rarely take them off to switch it out for a strap. I have all the tools and I have tons of practice, but just putting a bracelet on or off without quick release bars, it's very tedious. So when a watch does have that quick release system, it makes me enjoy it so much more because I find myself constantly switching between the straps and the bracelet. Second, the hands on this version look spectacular. That facet on the edge of the hour and minute hands looks excellent and improves legibility, and then I love that hand stack cap. It's such a small thing, but that's what I love about Nodus. They pay attention to the small stuff. Last, if you take the time to regulate a Miyota like Nodus does, you can get fantastic performance out of it. This watch is running plus 3 seconds a day, which is within cost. As for cons, I actually wish they had stuck with the sandwich dial on the original version. I thought that made it pretty unique. Second, while the bracelet is excellent, I also kind of miss the H-link style bracelet from the original as well. Lastly, while it adds a bit of character, I don't like the black coating on the crowns. It just feels like a kind of a strange detail that draws too much attention to them. As for comparables, for more, you could check out the Christopher Ward C65 Super Compressor, which is another retro-inspired diver. For around the same price, you might consider the Baltic Aquascape Dual Crown. And then for less, you could check out the Phoebus Eagle Ray 200 meters, which I actually have a review for, and I can link in the upper right-hand corner now. So there you have it, the Duality 2 from Nodus. What do you think about this watch? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, if you're enjoying the contents of this channel, I invite you to subscribe. And if you like the contents of this individual video, please give it a thumbs up. That's all for this time. My name is Jason, and you have been watching Just Watches.